Alright, good morning. Had an awesome stay here at the Wicked Waystation last night. This is a really nice hostel. It's like $50 and like they think of everything. I mean, there's like a fan to dry your shoes, shower, laundry. They bring you to the store, they pick you up from the trail, they bring you back to the trail. They have like tons of really yummy like home cooked local food that you can buy. So we had a really nice stay. The bunkhouse is nice. Literally like loaner clothes. They give you like shampoo, conditioner, everything in the shower is so nice. So I highly recommend this place. The hosts are really nice people. Today we have like 12 point something miles and most of our ascent is first thing in the day, which is awesome. We're going up Stratton Mountain today. We should have really good views. So today should be much better than the last 3 days. And then the other 8 miles is like a gradual downhill to the camping spot that we're gonna be at, which should have a sunset view. And then we'll only have like 5 miles into Manchester Center tomorrow, and then we're zeroing, I think. So should be a better 2 days, and it looks like dry and sunny today, which is awesome. Tent got pretty much dry, so that's good. Packing up right now. Can't wait for the fire tower. Oh yeah.
.4, 3.8 so.
To get up?
Yeah, to Stratton.
Okay. All right, so we're probably like a mile in. We gotta be.
Yeah.
We're climbing up Stratton right now, and we have like, it's like 3.8 up to Stratton. And then I think we're gonna get views up there because it's super sunny and nice. First views in like 3 days. And then we'll have like 3 miles down to Stratton Pond, which is like a shelter with a lake. So that'll be really nice. And then like 6 more miles to our stealth site at Prospect Rock, which you should probably remember that name just in case we get separated.
Yeah.
It's a little camera icon right after the William something shelter.
Okay.
And then tomorrow should be like 5 point something into Mansfield or Manchester Center. And we're gonna see if we can get what the hell? Just a blowdown? Huh. Nice. We're gonna try to get into Green Mountain House for tomorrow night. But I gotta text the hostel people, so we'll find out how that works. But today's much better than the last few days. Climbing. But the climb's not that bad, honestly. So far, we have 1,100 feet left though, so we'll see.
Yeah. Do you want me to stop anywhere or just?
No, like, I just like to show, like, as we're climbing, you can kind of tell when you have a subject, you know what I mean? It's nice and cool today. Like, I think the high is gonna be like 60. So the breeze climbing up this is so nice. And the climb honestly hasn't been bad so far. Last night I was able to pop my blisters and clean them and wrap them. And there was a girl going Sobo there on the AT. And she was so nice. She gave me a bunch of her Leuco tape. She didn't want to carry it. So I was able to wrap them up real good. And so far my feet have stayed dry, so feet are feeling much better. The other weird thing though that I've never felt before is I'm getting like these little mini subtle electric like shock feeling things in my back. So someone mentioned maybe I pinched a nerve, but I'm hoping that goes away because it feels like almost like when a chiropractor puts those little like sticky things on your back and hooks up to a machine and like shocks your back kind of. So it's a weird feeling. It's not like super uncomfortable, but I'm hoping that goes away. But yeah, I mean, so far today's really nice. Beautiful weather. Much drier trail so far. Views to look forward to, so those last 3 days. I mean, normally when you go into a hostel, I feel like you're happy again, so you get like the type 2 fun, like amnesia, and you're like, oh, the last few days weren't that bad. No, they sucked. I'll still say it even after getting clean and dry in a hostel. They sucked. Not me thinking I was gonna get a view, but I'm in a cloud, it looks like. So we'll see. I'm only a few hundred feet from the top. No. Oh, definitely not gonna see anything. Yeah, we're not getting a view.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you see maybe like 20, 30 feet out.
I don't think I'm gonna climb up all the way for no view. It's kind of scary. I would have done it for a view, but no. All of us just sitting here. All right, I'm headed down off Stratton now. My next break stop is going to be the Stratton Pond Shelter, which is in 3 miles. So I'll probably be there in like an hour and 15 or so, if the mud and the rocks aren't too bad. But it's just too cold to hang out up there. It's super cold and windy. It's probably only 60. And then I still have 8.8 miles to get to where we're camping, which is like, ugh. But I am grateful that they're an easier 8.8 miles. It's mostly downhill and flat. There's only like 500 feet of gain in that entire 8 miles. So that'll be very easy. So that's nice, but it's still 8 miles. Oh, I was so excited to see a view on top of that fire tower. And because when we got there this morning, it was sunny and warm out, warmish, not super warm, but it was sunny at the bottom and even halfway up. When we got up here, we were just in a cloud. So that kind of stinks because, you know, today's day 4 and it's been almost 40 miles of just nothing, not a single view, just rain, fog, and trees. But I guess that's how the trail is in Vermont on the AT. So we're hoping to get views at Bromley and Killington. Oh, and I did call Green Mountain House Hostel. They have a spot for us tomorrow night, which is great, but not Thursday night. So no 0, but we only have like 5 miles to do in tomorrow to the road, where we'll try to hitch into town, and then Green Mountain House will pick us up from Manchester Center. So it's a good Nero, you know. So far, this terrain is so much better than the last few days. I mean, yeah, it's still rocky and rooty, but the last few days was like mud that was so, it was everywhere. It was every few steps. You really didn't get many stretches of like dry-ish trail like this. And it was just like so hard to avoid. So by a certain point, you just end up walking through it. But the rocks and the roots, like the trail going down and up, didn't matter. Even walking flat was so difficult to maneuver. You either had to climb on slick rocks or like crank your legs in uncomfortable ways to get around them. So I'm really hoping the trail stays like this for a little bit, because this is completely tolerable. It's still a little slick, but way more tolerable. Here we go with the mud again. We are like 3.6 from camp, and now I'm running into a new issue, which I'm very frustrated about, because it's not something I've ever dealt with on a trail. Like, of course, like blisters and like foot pain and knee pain, that's all normal, but I'm getting like pins and needles all up my back constantly. It started yesterday and I didn't really think anything of it, and then today it's just been all day, and I think it's my lower back. From what I could tell, it happens only when the pack is on, and it usually starts in my lower back. If I keep my hip belt loosened, it's a little bit better, but it's still an issue. And I'm like, it's very uncomfortable. And yeah, I mean, I think I have a pinched nerve, which makes sense. It started yesterday, and yesterday I fell quite a few times in the mud and like twisted weird and was trying to catch myself with like my trekking poles. So I think It's dangerous out here with all this mud and the rocks. It's so easy to fall. I think I tweaked something, and from everything I'm looking at online, sometimes they resolve themselves in a few days, but they recommend like rest and ice and heat, and I can't really do any of that out here. So tomorrow we only have 5 miles into Manchester Center. I wanted to 0, but not an option for Thursday night. So I'm only gonna get a Nero. I'm gonna see if like I can get a heating pad at like a pharmacy, do something about it. I've been taking Advil, I've been stretching. I looked up a couple good stretches for a pinched nerve. I did that at the last shelter we stopped at. It's still happening. I'm trying to walk as straight as I can, but when you're going uphill, it's kind of hard because you hunch over a little bit. I'm planning on trying to see if with a Nero tomorrow and doing some stretching and maybe a heating pack or at least some veggies, cold veggies on my back, that it helps. If on Thursday, while I'm hiking all day, if it's still happening all day long, I'm kind of torn. I wanted to take a 0 Saturday and hike Thursday and Friday, but I can't stand more days of this. Like I could take another day, but I can't take multiple days of this. It feels like little electric shocks down my back constantly. It just feels so dumb because I've never had this happen before. It's because I'm like generally having a good time out here. I mean, this has not been my favorite state ever, but you know, with that aside, like I was ready to put more miles in. So I'm frustrated, but I'm trying not to like get too bothered by it yet, because you never know, it could go away in the next couple days.